we had to submit and subject ourselves to so much along the road to becoming a doctor that it's like, we finally made it. Okay. We finally made it. And then now I'm like feeling this pull. I want to start a business. I want to grow my coaching business. I want to serve more people. And your brain is like, whoa, pump the brakes. If I know my people, and I know when you saw this title, you clicked on it right away, because I speak to so many of you and I coach my clients on this a lot. And if there's one thing I know that my clients are just like you, right? And I used to have the same thoughts as well, and the same beliefs and the same ickiness about this. And so I really wanted to address this today so we can start the conversation. I want to share with you my perspective on selling in front of people that you know. So I'm defining people you know as anyone that knew you in your life before you identified as a coach, right? Before you started selling your coaching services. So this could be family, friends, coworkers, your boss, the nurses in the hospital, whomever, anyone that can say, I knew you before, right? So we are not talking about your ideal clients. And that's actually part of the thing, right? Like our brain, a lot of times when we are selling our coaching, especially in the beginning, and even as we're scaling, our brain thinks about the people we know, right? It inserts our boss into there, or inserts our sister and like her judgment, or our auntie and them, and what are they going to say? And a lot of times that comes from the fact that we don't yet believe that there are other people that would want to buy our offer, or other people that we're speaking to, right? So what ends up happening is when we are selling or, marketing on social media, I mean, we're just putting words down and we're communicating. But because all we see in front of us, around us, are people we know, all we typically see on our timeline, right? Because your timeline is going to be curated toward the people that you interact with the most. That's how Facebook and Instagram and all of them, that's how they keep you on the app, right? Like they are going to curate your timeline toward the people that you interact with, that you chat with, that you like in their pictures, right? And so we forget that there's other people, acquaintances, friends of friends that we have gathered on our timelines over the years. And if you're on Instagram, there's likely people that you've never met, people you do not know. Let's say you're on LinkedIn, there's connections that you've made with people that you may not be in the inner circle, but your brain doesn't go there because you're thinking about the people that are right in front of you, all of the people that are speaking on your timeline, minute by minute, second by second, hour by hour, right? And so it completely makes sense why you start thinking about them. But when you are selling your coaching, when you are marketing your coaching online, here's what I notice about doctor coaches. The feeling that they have when they are marketing, or when they are thinking about marketing, just the thought of, I want to start a coaching business, right? The feeling goes often to embarrassment, right? And here's why. The people in our lives, like I said, especially like family and friends, the people who knew us back when, they have seen us go through medical school, residency training. They've seen us get our first careers. Like they've seen us do that work, right? They've seen us do that work. And then we made it. We made it to the pinnacle of like careers, right? And I'm not necessarily saying that being a physician or being a doctor is the pinnacle of careers. I think coaching is the pinnacle of careers, right? But what I'm saying is that's the perception in society, right? So your aunt thinks that being a doctor is the pinnacle of careers, right? And your cousin thinks that being a doctor is the pinnacle of careers. And your best friend from kindergarten thinks you've made it, right? And in some way, you also are thinking that you're like, I had to grind for so long. Everyone saw me doing that, and now I made it. I am a whole doctor. I know how to treat people. I have the profession where, and obviously this is really changing in medicine, right? But traditionally, being a doctor was thought to be a career that holds a lot of power. We had to submit and subject ourselves to so much along the road to becoming a doctor that it's like, we finally made it. Okay. We finally made it. And then now I'm like feeling this pull. I want to start a business. I want to grow my coaching business. I want to serve more people. And your brain is like, whoa, pump the brakes. You selling, right, is going to be a demotion in your status from where you are right now, because you're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to, quote unquote, ask for money. You're going to have to beg for money, right? You're going to have to, like, all of this stuff, right? So embarrassed is the feeling that when we think about selling online, when we think about selling our coaching, our brain goes to it. Like, our brain has thoughts that deposit neurotransmitters and hormones into our body that bring up the feeling of embarrassment, right? Not that it's actually harmful, but your primitive brain thinks it is. Your primitive brain does not want you to feel embarrassed. So what it actually does is it resists the embarrassment. It resists it by saying, okay, we're not gonna sell online. We're not gonna sell our coaching. Here's what we're going to do instead, right? So from the feeling of embarrassment, and really from the feeling of resisting potential embarrassment, here's what we do. We do all sorts of things that do not lead us toward the goal of signing clients, having an impact, making an income in our businesses, right? Here are some of the things we do. One of the first things that we do, and I legit coached a client on this today. One of the things that we do is we ask our family for feedback. We ask our family for feedback. Why in the world are we doing this? Like, where is this coming from, right? It's coming from, okay, I don't want to feel embarrassed, and I'm thinking about my family. I'm thinking about my friends. I'm thinking about the people in my life, not my clients, not the people I can serve. I am thinking about my family, right? I'm thinking about my friends. So I'm going to ask them for feedback because I want to protect myself from any embarrassment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like make sure I don't look crazy. Hey, can you watch this live video I just did and give me some feedback? Hey, can you read this post I just wrote and give me some feedback? And it's coming from the place of resisting, not wanting to feel the embarrassment, right? We don't want to get there. So we're going to ask for feedback. And then here's what always happens every single time. They give us feedback, right? And we get mad. They give feedback and we get mad, right? Because they're coming from where they saw us, like they knew us when, right? They're not the client that we're speaking to. They're not our person. So if you're not selling your coaching because you're scared of selling in front of other people, it's because you're resisting embarrassment, right? You don't want to feel embarrassed, right? You're asking people for feedback. None of those things are going to get you to your goal of signing clients and helping people. So you need to believe in the transformation that you can provide. You must understand who your person is and start speaking to that person. And you have to learn the language of transformation and start shifting the beliefs of your clients, not your coworkers.